March 11, 2026. It's the middle of the week. It's a Wednesday. Happy Wednesday po sa inyong lahat na nanonood sa atin dito sa Out for Lunch on FTV. And we are live today. Present Philbert Wong, present Kyle Andre Saliva, and Jeff Atienza. Kompleto talaga ang mga pangalan nyo. Yun ang nakalagay eh. So, hello po sa inyong lahat. We have a special episode today. May guest tayo maya-maya lang. A real estate lawyer. Kung may tanong kayo tungkol related sa mortgage, sa pagbili ng bahay, sa pagbenta ng bahay, condo ba yan o bahay, no? Ngayong medyo uncertain times. At ako, hirap nga ng buhay. Siguro may mga nagbabalak na sanang bumili ng bahay this year, pero nagkaroon naman ng ganito, no? Ongoing ang giyera sa Middle East at sinasabing the worst bombing daw ay nangyari yesterday by the US and Israel sa Iran. So ongoing pa po yan. Hindi pa natin alam kung kailan matatapos. Hi, Anjo from YVR. Oh, you're already in Vancouver. Pabalik na po dito ang ating kasamahan na si Anjo Palasigi from the Philippines. Naka-layover na siya ngayon sa Vancouver. Safe flight. At ano rin, kamusta yung flight, Anjo? Pag sa ibang mga route ba na hindi dadaan sa sa Middle East airspace, okay ba? Kamusta ang mga ang biyahe? Kasi yan domino effect yan eh. May mga delays pa rin, 'di ba? O tinatanong kung magpapasundo ka daw, Anjo. Okay, ngayon po ay March 11. Meron tayong belated happy birthday greeting because I wasn't here. Birthday ng isa sa mga maganda rin kasi kaka-International Women's Day din, no? It's good to celebrate women like this. Wait lang watching from Chicago this time. Aba, nasa Chicago si Manibelang Pinoy. Are you still driving? Baka you were driving all the way to Chicago. O ingat-ingat ha. And let us know anong balita sa inyong mga pagmamaneho. Baka minsan kasi nagko-cross border itong si Manibelang Pinoy, no? At nagda-drive from Canada to the US. Ox naman, Air Canada, masarap food, kaya lang hassle ang layover. Okay, it's good to know. At least yung mga konting reklamo natin at hindi naman major, di ba? So belated happy birthday to Rodora Dorado, a Filipino leader in the Canadian real estate and property management industry. And fashionista na rin on the side. She's always had talagang known si Dodi na ganyan, no? Maganda magdamit, yung kanyang mga, mahilig din siya sa mga branded na mga bags at mga sapatos, yan. Kaya, and she's also selling some of them. So that's part of what she does. But she's also very passionate about these things. Kaya so si Dodi to her friends, or Ro to some, she's the manager operations at Caprit. And in case you didn't know, Caprit is Canada's largest publicly traded provider ng mga real o mga rental housing. So that company owns and manages approximately 45,000 residential suites and townhouses across Canada at pati sa Netherlands, no? And Caprit stands for Canadian Apartment Properties, REIT. Yon ang ating kasamahan dito na in-interview din natin yan sa Cherry Mercado Podcast. Ang ganda rin ang storya nito ni Dodi. Lahat tayo magagandang storya no? Every one of us have a story that's worth hearing. So yes, sino mga nanonood sa atin today, you can share our link, no, para mapanood din ang iba ninyong kababayan. They don't have to watch it live. They can watch it belatedly or naka-on-demand naman ang ating videos dito. Goody! Hi, Goody Kambay! Hello, everyone! So, ayan, pareho na tayo ng oras ng Pilipinas. Oras in terms of, syempre baliktad pa rin kung umaga o gabi, no? Pero 12:30 na rin dyan sa Pilipinas. Mas maaga-aga para sa mga gustong manood sa atin dito. Paz Mercado, hello everyone. Hi din sa aking mommy. OCD is watching us. Diana Torres de Guzman watching from Zamboanga in the Philippines. Kung nandiyan ka, baka nagbabiyahe. Mahilig din magbiyahe to in her work. She's working for the government. She's a engineer no, dyan sa local provincial, sa LGU, dyan sa Zamboanga. Happy watching sa inyong lahat. And we also want to thank si Savvy Lang, no, na nagpadala sa atin ng kanyang 2 books. I've already started reading, ito pala, baliktad ang left and right. So this is The Divine Dream of Dahara, and ito naman yung The Oranin. Ito yung una niyang sinulat, and ito yung mas bago niyang sinulat, just 2025, I believe, last year lang. So itong mga libro ni Savvy, for those who are in the Philippines, it will be available at the Philippine Book Festival at SM Mega Mall, Mega Trade Hall. March 12 to 15 yan. Magkakaroon ng book festival doon. Kung nandun lang ako, I go to these things. Still a lover of books, no? Lagi tayo minsan nasa telepono. So, it's good. It's really good. Ako ay consciously tried to remove my phone. Kahit na napaka-busy natin, pag nagbasa ka ng libro, nakaka-relax. Baka nakalimutan na natin no? Paano magbasa ng libro ngayon. And admittedly, I read much less now because of cell phones. But if you just grab yourself a hard copy, there's something magical that happens. It really relaxes your brain. Baka ito yung sa mga hindi nakakatulog. Di ba? Marami sa atin may insomnia. Si Dre, baka pwede ka magbasa pag medyo pag hindi ka makatulog, no? Yon. So, they'll be at SM Mega Trade Hall, March 12 to 15. Mark your calendars. And that is organized to celebrate Filipino authors, artists, and creatives, and to promote Filipino literature. So, just to tell you what it's about, no? Kung pupunta kayo dyan, yung booth daw nila, sabi ni Savvy, is in booth B025. Yan. Hanapin nyo dyan sa Mega Trade Hall. Malaki-laki kasi yan. Pag nag-book fair, ang laki niyan. Kaya kung gusto nyo makita, yan, B025 booth. Itong Divine Dream of Dahara is a historical fantasy about a young girl who became an anointed dream bearer of a new divine era. So para i-fulfill yung prophecy, she navigates the world na may mga shamans, no? There will also be a collision in Christianity. So may mga mentions ng Babaylan, Anito, pre-colonial kingdoms in the Philippine Islands, Bakunawa, and they have strong women characters, which I like. It's good to hear those things. I haven't heard those things in a while. These are pre-colonial, settings in the Philippine Islands, kaya ang ganda. Okay. Si Joy Olson, hi! Good day, Miss Cherry from Peace River sa Alberta. Tapos, bago tayo pumunta sa ating guest, congratulations muna sa mga bagong regional officers ng Knights of Rizal Central Canada chapters. Ayan, chapters. Yes. Ayan, ito. Medyo malabo lang yung litrato natin, pero nakikita nyo naman sila. Yan ang mga magigiting na regional officers ngayon ng Knights of Rizal CCR. Si Sir Alex Trinidad. I'm gonna go from left to right. Sir Alex Trinidad, East Area Commander. Si Sir June Calagio, Deputy Regional Commander. Sir Dong Mineke, Regional Commander din. Sir Chris Marfil, Deputy East Area Commander. And si Sir Delphine Palileo, West Area Commander. And yung nasa rightmost is si Sir Don Kimno. Yan, I remember they taped something here. Ako pa nga yung kinuha nilang host nun. Dito mismo sa where I'm sitting down now, no? Isa sa mga productions ng Knights of Rizal na isa din sa mga organisasyon, no, dito sa Canada na that brings Filipinos together, no, in the same goal to spread and continue the teachings of our national hero, Jose Rizal. Cesar Marquez, hello sa iyo. Ayan. So let's continue with our discussion. Kung meron kayong mga real estate questions, baka pwede nyong ibaon or pwede ninyong isipin na ngayon at i-post sa ating chat box dahil we have a real estate lawyer with us today. Yan. So, we have with us today Attorney Douglas Santiago. He's a real estate lawyer engaged in the practice of residential and commercial real estate law for the last 12 years. Hi, Attorney Douglas.
Hi, good afternoon, Cherry, and good afternoon to the viewers. I'm happy and honored to be a guest to the show.
Oh, alam mo, napaka-busy nito ni Attorney Douglas. Talagang inano lang natin siya. Give us a little bit of time, 30 minutes para sa i-discuss natin ngayon yung real estate situation sa Canada. Ro, hello! Belated happy birthday sa'yo. They're watching. And Savvy is also watching. Thank you for sharing daw yung details sa kanyang libro. Ayun, live kasi tayo, attorney, kaya minsan binabasa din natin yung mga chat dito ng mga nanonood sa atin. So, simulan ko lang ng konti ha, kasi as a newcomer din dito sa Canada, I have to understand. And I'm sure marami rin ako matututunan today. Kasi, kung galing ka sa Pilipinas, no, ang pinakamalaking pinagkaiba dito sa Ontario ay yung legalidad at yung papel ng gobyerno. Sa Pilipinas, minsan yung transactions ng real estate may personal na usapan, pero dito sa Canada, bawat step ay may dokumento at kailangan dumadaan sa mga professional. So, ilan sa mga basics, I'm gonna run this through attorney and let me know if there's anything I'm saying that needs to be corrected. No? Sa Canada, bawal ang DIY sa pagbibili ng bahay. Kailangan mo ng 4 na tao. Real estate agent, sila yung naghahanap ng bahay at nakikipag-negotiate. Sila ang nakakaalam kung scam o overpriced ang isang property. Mortgage broker, sila naman yung tutulong sa'yo para makahiram ng pera sa bangko. Real estate lawyer, sila ang pinaka-importante. Sila ang naglilipat ng pangalan ng bahay sa'yo at naniniguro na walang utang o problema ang property na binibili mo. Ang home inspector naman, sila yung titingin kung may sira ba yung bubong, meron bang molds o amag yung basement, o kung luma na yung kuryente, no? And you also have to think of your credit score dito sa Canada. Sa Pilipinas, kung may cash ka, pwede kang bumili. Dito sa Canada, kahit may pang down payment ka, kung hindi maganda ang credit score mo, halimbawa hindi ka nagbabayad ng credit card or bills on time, hindi ka papahiramin ng bangko ng mortgage. So, tapos meron ding down payment at deposit. Ito naman yung earnest money or reservation fee. Ito pareho na rin sa Pilipinas. Kapag nagustuhan mo yung bahay, kailangan mong magbigay ng pera agad. And I want to clarify this with attorney. Within 24 hours, kailangan na magbigay ng deposit. Ang down payment naman, ito yung porsyento ng presyo ng bahay na babayaran mo ng cash. So, kung ang bahay ay 500,000 pababa, ang minimum ay 5% na down payment. Pero kung mahal naman ang bahay, kagaya dito sa Toronto, madalas dami na dyan 1 million plus, no? Kailangan mo ng 20% down. So, yes, attorney, let's start discussing that. Did I say that correctly?
Yes, you have said some of them, and I agree with you, Cherry. Comparing to the real estate transaction in the Philippines, actually in Canada, they appear to be complicated, but in the end, the Canadian real estate transaction is much easier, more convenient to the home buyers and even to the sellers than in the Philippines, because it's a kind of a one-stop shop transaction, especially when you already appear to a lawyer who closes the transaction. In the Philippines, it appears to be very simple, like you only have two contracts, namely a contract to sell or conditional sale, and then the deed of absolute sale. In the contract to sell or conditional sale, usually you have the down payment or the deposit, and then there are certain documents that are considered the deliverables, like the real estate tax declaration, original copy of which, and the original copy of the owner's duplicate of title, which is not delivered yet at the time you sign the contract to sell or conditional sale. After the lawyer has made the necessary title search, which is usually done by going in person to the land registrar or land registry, it's only when everything is searched properly, and then when the buyer is ready to
Sakalang
part with
magkakaroon, no?
balance, then they would be ready to prepare
Pivot
the
ko na
reduction
dito
is
sa
so.
ano, attorney ha. Sorry to interrupt you there. Pivot ko na dito sa Canada. Marami kasing akala nga magandang panahon na sana bumili ngayon na nagbaba na sana no before the war in the Middle East na bumababa na marami nag-iintay ng pagbaba ng presyo ng bahay no baka makabili na ng property tapos yung interest rates were getting friendly already may mga worry din sa mortgage ano bang mangyayari ngayon what do you envision will happen in the industry with this war in the Middle East.
Although generally at this time it is a buyer's market in the sense that because of less bidding wars, because of the
Mm.
higher inventory of properties, the prices of the real estate, the single family dwelling or resale or reconstruction units are getting lower. The prices are getting lower. And it's a buyer's market. Yet, because of this Iran conflict, people, well, the momentum in the real estate transaction has paused. And of course, people, especially the consumers, the real estate first time home buyer, would naturally wait for such time that this situation would become stabilized. In other words, when
Mm-mm.
that war ends, perhaps that's the time that they will begin considering buying a real estate or on the part of some investors. But for some who have money and who are badly in need of homes, they still proceed because, as I've said, it's a buyer's market.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
well, it is on a case to case basis, especially now that aside from the tariff that has been imposed upon by US against Canada, and then in addition to that, this Iran conflict would really cause such pause on the decisions of home buyers or consumers to buy real estate.
Mhm. Yung iba, meron ba kasi marami rin daw attorney ngayong 2026 na negotiate ulit ng kanilang mga rates sa mortgage, no? Um, at ang kinakatakot nila ay baka tumaas yung interest rates, no? Is this something that we're seeing in the horizon? And what can you say to them?
There's some basis in that because especially if there is war or there is uh, conflict, especially if that conflict is in the Middle East, where we know that most of the OPEC or those countries who produce and export oil or petroleum are located. Usually, because we know that oil is a very significant product for transport, inflation, of course, would increase, and the Bank of Canada would usually would shift its policy to caution the inflation, to lower the mortgage, to increase the mortgage cost, to increase the
Mhm.
mortgage interest rate, and that's not favorable to home buyers, especially that many home buyers would avail of financing or mortgage in their
Oo.
purchase of homes.
Oo, napakakonti lang naman ng hindi kumukuha ng mortgage para bumili ng bahay. For those who are experiencing, for example, hard times at gustong mag-cash out dun sa kanilang mga property, no? Siguro nag-iisip mag-downsize. From ngayon kasi, attorney, and correct me if I'm wrong, no? Yung mga condominiums, yun ang mas malaki ang ibinaba ng presyo dahil sa dami ng supply ng condominiums.
Because
So
of a
kung
higher inventory. Yes, that's correct. Say.
mm. So paano kung halimbawa may bahay sila tapos gusto nilang ibenta yung bahay at bumili ng condo? Do you think this is a wise move? If
Well,
you need liquidity.
there is a domino effect because of this uncertainty that is being brought about by tariff and Iran conflict.
Mhm.
Of course, those who would downsize and their homes would naturally or necessarily be affected when they purchase or a condo from a detached property, because condos usually would still require, well, when you purchase a condo and you don't have all the monies to for your purchase closing costs,
Mm.
and you would need a mortgage. Still, some have a reservation to buy a condo. But then, if the property that you have sold is, well, the proceeds of the property that you have sold, like a detached property, is more than enough to cover the purchase price of the new home, the condo unit that you are going to buy, then that's fine. I think still they are in a better off position to do that. But
Mm-hmm.
to avail of a mortgage, especially if the mortgage that they would be obtaining is substantial, then they have to be cautious in their decision to buy a new property
Oo nga
using
naman.
finances.
Correct, oo. Thank you for that, attorney. Basahin lang muna natin yung mga bagong messages na dumating. My cab ski, super expensive, honestly. Regards to attorney from Randy Bukaw. Regards daw sa inyo, attorney. Anjo Palasigi, shout out kay Mary Jane. And si Mary Beth Madchio, sabi niya, agreed, Canadian real estate is very regulated compared to Philippines real estate. May question lang dito, attorney from Manibelang Pinoy. Sabi niya, when will the 5% GST rebate for first-time home buyer get approved? When will it get approved?
Well, it would depend upon the deliberations in the members of the parliament, because it's the federal parliament that decides on that, although I think there is a pending bill in that regard where, with respect to a purchase of a new home, they would dispense with the GST and SST,
Mm.
but I don't think it has already been approved. We have some real estate brand new home transactions where clients still would pay GST, SST, although there are SST, GST rebate existing. And when you use the property for your principal residence for at least 1 year, then you are qualified or eligible to avail of the GST, SST rebate. Like when you purchase a home with an amount of the purchase price of 450 and above, then at least you can avail of the 24,000 GST, the SST rebate uh, for your purchase, and you will just be paying the net SST, GST in your purchase transaction for a brand new home.
Ayun, so
For
pending pa
resale,
pala
there's no
siya.
HST. There's no GST or HST in a resale property, whether
Ah,
condo or detached.
okay. I'm going to give the floor to you now, attorney. Kung ano yung mga tingin mo, yung mga gusto mong message na iparating sa mga viewers natin.
For the first-time home buyers, actually, there are already existing incentives provided by the government for you to be assisted in your to caution the high purchase price of single family dwelling. Like we have the first home savings account, which you can avail of as long as you are a Canadian resident. You will use the property for your principal residence. You are at least 18 years of age. You can open a first home savings account with any bank. You can contribute up to a maximum of 8,000 per year, but
Mm-hmm.
not a maximum, but for a maximum of 40,000. Now you
Hanggang
have to use this
40,000.
in buying a first home, so
Pag
that
na-miss mo
you
yung isang taon doon, attorney, pwede mong gawing 16,000 the next year Does it
you
work
can
that way?
carry it forward for the succeeding year.
Okay.
And that
Okay.
contribution that you make is tax deductible for your income tax.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't want to, or if you end up not buying a home, you can transfer that money to your RRSP or RRIF or Registered Retirement Savings Plan or Registered Income Investment Fund if you
Mm-hmm.
have those investments,
Mm-hmm.
okay, without
Now,
getting taxed.
yon. We don't have a lot of time. Sabi ni Philbert, yan ang napakaganda ng benefit na yan para sa mga first-time home buyers. Kaya rin
And there's
sinasabi ni
also land
attorney
transfer
at ni
tax rebate
Philbert.
for first-time home buyer. If you
Okay.
buy a property outside Toronto, you are entitled, you are first-time home buyer and you would use the property for your principal residence, you are entitled to 4,000 land transfer tax credit. And if you
Mm.
buy a property located in Toronto, of course, in Toronto, if you buy a property, you would be taxed twice for the city land
Mm-mm.
transfer tax or municipal land transfer tax, and then the Ontario provincial land transfer tax. You are also entitled to two types of land transfer tax rebate for the province, 4,000, and then for the city, 4,475, for a total of
Mm-mm.
8,475
Yun
land transfer
talaga,
tax.
no? Pag dito ka sa Toronto. So, I was confident in guesting si Attorney Douglas Santiago dito sa ating show. And I'm going to ask him before we let him go to tell our viewers kung ano yung mga services na pwede para sa mga kababayan natin. Because sometimes we're looking for Filipino lawyers eh, di ba? Iba yung nakikipag-usap tayo sa kababayan natin. Naiintindihan yung mga nuances. Even if we speak English, di ba? Minsan naghahanap tayo nung talagang kababayan natin. And I am confident to suggest, to recommend si Attorney Douglas dahil nakilala na natin si Attorney Douglas. Yeah, I also guested him in the podcast. Dating ano rin, Attorney Douglas, tama ba? Nagseminaryo ka, nagpari ka ba dati? Or hindi?
Uh,
Tama, di
mm,
ba? You went out
yep.
of the priesthood?
Yeah, I was in the seminary for almost 11 years. Yeah. And
Oo.
then before deciding to go out and then study law. So I
And
have
Attorney
some,
Douglas was highly recommended to me before I met him. He has highly satisfied yung mga kliyente na pumunta kay Attorney Douglas. Nakakilala ko personally. Uh, I'm very careful about recommending people, no, especially sa inyo. And Attorney Douglas doesn't even know that I will be recommending him today. But siguro Attorney Douglas, yung mga kababayan lang natin na nakikinig sa atin at merong mga questions about real estates, can you tell them and other services that you do? Can you tell them anong mga instances ang pwede silang lumapit sa'yo?
oh yeah, we are into real estate practice. So for real estate practice, we offer services for residential, like if you buy a condo or detached, if you would like to obtain a mortgage. So basically, it's lawyers who register mortgages and purchase transactions, so even private mortgages, sale of business assets, like you sell a restaurant, you sell a parlor, you sell a spa outfit. Then you also can avail of our services for wills, estates, and trust. Because if you have a property, it's necessary that you secure your children, your spouse
Mm-mm.
when you're gone. God forbid to have to succeed on the property that you acquired, especially if that property is only under your name. You also need powers of attorney in order to continually for someone to act on your behalf when you are not around or when you become incapable. And then we also services in family law, and we offer
Wilson
also
Estate din, di ba?
yes, and
Oo.
then all Philippine legal matters. We
Pwede
also
din.
Yes, we can provide, except appearing in court unless our clients would shoulder our travel expense in going to the
Oo nga
Philippines.
naman, kung
I still
pupunta kayo sa
practice
korte
Philippine law.
sa
If there is
Pilipinas,
sometimes I would attend a virtual hearing, if the judge would allow
kung
it.
pwedeng virtual,
Yeah, sometimes
okay.
I would attend a virtual hearing in court, and then yeah, notarial
Attorney, sorry,
services.
naubusan na tayo ng oras. Sabi ni Andrew, dapat daw 1 hour tayo. Randy Bukaw says, mabuhay si Attorney Dog. And Raymond Santos, thank you for your
My
message.
regards, Randy.
Ah, you know Randy, okay.
Yeah, I know
So,
him.
sabi ni Savvy, what's the name of attorney's real estate company? At saka ano yung
It's
telephone
Santiago
number,
Law.
attorney?
Yeah,
Santiago
it's
Law, they're in
Santiago
North
Law.
York. North
Yeah,
York.
we are
Yeah, go ahead.
located at 4510 Wilson Avenue, North York, Ontario. Our telephone number is 647-247-1739. And then our email address is douglas@santiagolaw.ca.
God bless at santiagolaw.ca.
Douglas, Douglas.
Douglas.
Yeah.
Akala ko God bless. Sabi ko may pagkapari yung pagkaseminarista ni attorney nandun pa rin sa email address niya.
That's my
Nabingi
name.
lang ako doon,
Santiago. Yeah.
Douglas. At
Douglas at
Santiago.
santiagolaw.ca.
At santiago.ca.
Santiago Law,
At
LAW.
santiagolaw.ca.
That's CA. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, attorney. Oo,
Okay.
ilalagay
Welcome
natin
and
sa
thank you too. Thank you for
lalagay
inviting
natin sa
me.
chat box natin yung mga contact number, contact details ni attorney. Thank you all for watching. Julius Acobo, good morning from the Philippines. Thank you for always watching us. Magkasama tayo ulit bukas at 12:30 p.m. dito sa Out for Lunch on FTV. Bye for now at abangan ninyo ang immigration at iba pa live din at 1:30 p.m. Si Attorney Jake Aguilar naman at si Jin Aguilar. Maya-maya lang.